Hi,
Oh
I'm.
my god, he's a dinosaur, y'all. He turned into.
And that's Zion, and we are the
The
amateur film critics. There you go. Guys, the movie we're doing today, if you can't guess by these two, this is a childhood movie for me, big time.
For him.
For me, like big time, this is a childhood movie. I got the Legos. These are the Lego dinosaurs.
The Legos and. Oh. Someone just came down the stairs. Oh my gosh. Chris Pratt? What are you doing here, man? Oh my gosh.
What the heck?
You want to be in our review of Jurassic World? Alright, come down here, man. Alright, we have a special guest. Chris Pratt is in the house, y'all. Alright, I'll scoot down and... Alright, y'all. Hi, Chris Pratt. What's up? Hi, Chris Pratt. Oh, yeah. April Fool's, y'all. Oh, I got you with that. You were not...
I didn't know what you were gonna pull up, Zion. I knew you had some sort of. Okay, the T-Rex lost its tail, but I didn't know what you were gonna pull up there, man. But I was not expecting Mario. I mean, I don't know if we talked about that Mario reveal on the channel yet. That is just
yeah. I think we'll
baffling.
go more into depth. I think we'll go more into depth if we review the actual live-action Mario movies.
Which, based on the cast, we're probably going to have to review it. Like, geez Louise, that cast. But that's not the movie we're doing today.
The movie we're doing.
Today we're doing Jurassic World, if you haven't guessed by the title and by our special appearances. When I say this was a childhood movie, I mean, like, I was pumped for this film. I believe, Zion, I think you and I saw it in theaters together.
I never saw this in theaters.
You didn't? Okay, then our grandfather was with me and my dad when we went and saw it. I remember that for sure. But yes, I was pumped for this movie when it came out.
Yeah, he was pumped. He at one point talked about, like, maybe we could see it in theaters for our birthdays, but then that never happened, so.
Yeah, but I still saw it in theaters. Yeah. I loved every second of it as a kid.
Much later, I told him we were, I think, like, they were at Branson, and they, like, Mo, we're about to watch Jurassic World at the late house, like, much time after it had actually come out, like, probably a lot of years later. And then I told him I never watched the first Jurassic World, and you were so mad, like.
I mean, like, man, when I mean this movie has, like, sentimental value, because if you don't remember our review of Jurassic Park, that was, like, my nostalgia film as a kid. I saw it. It was probably one of my first PG-13 movies, even though I don't think it is, like, completely. But yeah, so what pop did you show? It was blurry on my screen.
I never actually showed the pop, but the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Moen Brady pop played by our Lord and Savior Chris Pratt.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yes. So we decided to review Jurassic World because this summer we're supposed to get Jurassic World Dominion coming out, which is supposed to be the end to the Jurassic World trilogy, and they're bringing back the original cast of Jurassic Park, and it's going to be big, and it's going to be spectacular, and I'm pumped. I don't know how excited Zion is, but I think he's a little excited.
I'm a little excited. But let's get into this.
Yeah, let's get right into it. I have a subplot summary. Located off the coast of Costa Rica, the Jurassic World Luxury Resort provides habitat for an array of genetically engineered dinosaurs, including the vicious and intelligent Indominus Rex. When the massive creature escapes, it sets off a chain reaction that causes the other dinos to run amok. Now it's up to a former military man and animal expert, played by Chris Pratt, to use his special skills to save two young brothers and the rest of the tourists from an all-out prehistoric assault. Okay, we left out some key details there, but that's still a pretty good explanation. I mean, this movie, plot-wise, we're going to talk more about the plot. This movie, plot-wise, is not the most fleshed out, but that's not a necessarily bad thing, in my opinion. But let's get to our first topic, which is...
Hold on. I forgot I was wearing this Jurassic World, I think it was Fallen Kingdom t-shirt.
Yes, that is from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Man, you got the merch for this. Yeah, I didn't realize you had so much stuff from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom specifically, which is funny because that one got bad reviews.
Yeah.
I still liked it. I think Zion liked it too, based on how much stuff he has. But yes, so our first topic though is we want to talk a little bit about the original Jurassic Park, and we want to talk about all the tie-ins to this one.
Yeah, so let's talk about I think we already kind of talked about your thoughts on the original and how you loved it. My thoughts on the original, I didn't watch the entire thing as a child. I watched it much later.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good film. I thought plot-wise it was good. The only main problem I have is the effects. So last time when we reviewed the original Jurassic Park, I said I didn't like the effects, and I don't think I gave a reason because I haven't thought of a reason. I just didn't like them.
But that's the way it is with effects, honestly, because effects, you see them and you base how real you think they look. So I don't think you need that much of a reason, but I'll let you go on. Sorry.
I think I know why I wasn't a huge fan of the effects when everyone else just goes on and on about these effects here. So I think my problem is that, to me, I think I can tell when the dinosaurs are puppets and when they are CGI, in my opinion. So they don't look as real. I don't like when they switch between the two. I think it doesn't look as real to the audience when at one point the dinosaurs are really full of motion, and then at another point there are them dead on the ground, are not completely dead, but just
I get what you're saying.
Lifting them down, lifting their heads out, lifting them down. And so I could tell, in my opinion, there is one scene in this one where I could also where it doesn't look as good to me, and this kind of ties into the special effects category. But I didn't. At one point in this one, they find a dead. I don't know what the dinosaur's called, but it's the one
with the long neck, right?
Just on the ground, and the dinosaur's head just lifts up and then lifts down and then does that a few more times. And so I saw somewhere that was the only special effects done with puppet in this film, and I think probably the weakest special effects in the film. Not because it's done by puppet, I just think it looks weird.
So that is
not saying I don't like when the effects are done by puppet. I just think either do one more the other, in my opinion. Don't try to
that isn't
some of them real and some of them not real.
That is an interesting take on it because I am still on the boat that the original Jurassic Park had really good like CGI, especially for the time. But like I get that look on it. Like it's not about necessarily one of them being bad. It's the switch between the two that breaks the immersion, and I get that. That I can actually get that. That is a good point. So well, I guess let's move on to the plot a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we can talk about specific.
Yeah,
we can talk about specific like tie-ins to the actual like movie franchise.
Yeah, that's fine.
As we go. So the big thing going on is this is the same island from Jurassic Park. They've just completely built a brand new, modern-looking theme park with brand new dinosaurs. As far as the interesting tie-ins go, the head like geneticist or whatever it's called is Dr. Henry Wu, who is from the first movie, if you remember.
He doesn't have a large part in the first film, but he definitely was in the first film. You know?
Yeah, it's the same actor and everything. Yeah. The characters are supposed to be the same. That's all been confirmed. And the big thing revealed is that they've made this Indominus Rex, which is a hybrid of a T-Rex and some other dinosaurs, which, spoiler alert, it's Velociraptor.
Here is one thing about the plot which I hate. When they find the scratches on the wall, and then he says it's not in there, and then Claire says, "I'll go make sure it's not in there." And so as she's driving to there, they decide, let's just walk into the cage without it not being confirmed that it's in there. And
that's a good point, I must say, yeah.
And that was pretty dumb in my opinion.
I thought you were going to bring up, so this genetic hybrid can do a lot of crazy crud. Yeah. One big thing is not only can it camouflage, but it can change its like body temperature.
But they reveal how it does that.
They reveal how it does that.
Different types of animals.
Yeah, it's based on the different types of animals used to fill in the DNA or whatever. So I thought that's where you're going with that, but that's actually a good point. I've never thought about that. They just walk in there without a care in the world.
Yeah. They walk in there, and that's how this entire film.
So obviously, the Indominus Rex escapes, and that is the plot of the movie right there. The certain subplots I would say there's two big ones. One, Claire, the like park runner in a way. She's not like CEO of anything, but she runs like everything in the park in a way. Her nephews have come to visit, and she is not paying attention to them.
I hate this plot because it feels like it was just thrown in for more runtime of the film. So her two nephews, like the parents of them are getting a divorce in the film. And so it's just and also another detail added to that one is that Claire is not spending enough time with her nephews while they're at the park.
I know, right? Well, like it is supposed to
attacking people, and apparently it's in the news.
Okay,
I don't understand.
In defense of the film, she's not spending enough time with them before the animal gets out. Like, the dinosaur's still in its cage when she's just, like, giving them money and passes and telling them to go around and have fun.
I mean,
but
that is true, but I feel like she runs the entire park. I feel like it might have been the same with Walt Disney and Walt Disney's, like, nephews. Oh, wait, I just figured out the reason why they're doing this, because in the first one, John Hamm brings his nephew and his niece, and so they have to make this film as much they have to throw.
That's a good point. I will give you that. It is quite reminiscent of what they did in the original one. But the other big subplot is there's this guy named Hoskins, and he works for the company InGen, which is a company within the Jurassic Park mythos.
Is Hopkins the general guy? Well, we'll go into the characters like more in depth.
Yeah, we'll go into the characters more depth. The big thing though is that he is wanting to use the Velociraptors as like weapons. He wants to be selling them to militaries and crud like that, but he needs a field test. So later in the movie, after the Indominus Rex has caused great havoc, they found the kids who got lost. He decides to use the Velociraptors to catch the Indominus Rex, which he gets permission from the board because so many people have died at that point. And so that's your other big subplot.
Not really.
It's not that big, although there are some final details that he has been working with Henry Wu.
Yeah, Dr. Wu.
To make more hybrids, I guess, to sell. So
I never really understood that plot at all.
You know,
like, why would they do
it's something I forget every time I watch this, and like there were still some small details to it that I was realizing as I was watching it again. It's not the big thing. But honestly, when it comes to plot, this is not exactly the biggest point of this movie. I would say like this movie is very much like an action film. Like you're watching for the action of it.
Yes, but Marvel movies also have a lot of plot. And
that is a good point.
And that's why our sisters watch those films.
I know, right? They do not care about the fighting at all. Well, Jasmine cares about the fighting. Gracie cares less and less about the fighting, I would say. Yeah. But yes, that is a good point. You can have action movies where they have a lot of action. They also have a lot of plot. This is just one of those movies where it's really more about the action and even the nostalgia of the first one, because there are a lot of tie-ins.
They heavily tie into with those 30/40-year-olds and the audience who were like really nostalgic for this film, and they knew like we can full of these people and make more of the green stuff off of those guys. So yeah. Some other tie-ins. The nephews find the old like building from the first one.
Yeah, that was the biggest one.
But it almost looks nothing like the building because all the details have been ruined.
It's been dilapidated.
Yeah, they also find remember the banner and the final shot of the first Jurassic Park? Well,
yes.
They on the ground, which no one has swept up. Or
my big thing is they burned it. I was like, oh my gosh, they burned it. Why would they burn it?
They don't know. They don't know.
I know they don't know it's special, but to me it's special and they burned it. Yeah, but I thought that detail was nice, honestly. I thought that was good, and while it does play on nostalgia, which isn't the best filmmaking technique, I would say, it's really nice.
I mean, there are some movies that do like that play on nostalgic factors, like in a decent way. I don't think this is one of the
Oh, hold on. I would say this does play on nostalgic factors in a decent way without like making it too much about nostalgia.
Remember one character who he's in the control lab, and the entire thing about this character is that he loves the old park and hates the new park.
That's not his entire thing about his character, but yeah, he does make that comment, which is rough.
His character. He is
supposed to be the nerd.
It sounds like that they were heavily annoyed with people on the internet talking about why would they make another Jurassic Park film, and they were very annoyed with that, and so they made an entire character that basically hits those types of people on the internet.
I don't know about that, but I'll let you say your stuff. All right, so the next topic we have is the park, which the park itself is quite interesting because we have like
I thought the park was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool visually. Like a big portion of this movie is it's visually striking. Like, you know, you have like the big visuals that come from like summer blockbusters and all, and the park is definitely a big part of that, along with the dinosaurs. But we'll talk more about them a little bit later. Like it's got a cool design, and the most interesting part, like that it contributes to the plot, is that it's actually open. This is the first time we've ever seen like the dinosaur park open in a Jurassic Park movie.
It feels a little bit like Universal Studios in a way, which I've never been, but
you've never been, but I get what you're saying. It does feel that way for sure.
It feels like an actual theme park that like you can go to. So
they got the nice details, like the monorail for sure, and like I forgot where I was going with that. Just go on. I totally forgot my sentence there. Sorry.
I love especially the part where the giant dinosaur eats the great white shark, and then it splashes.
Yes.
People. And then the walls like come down, kind of like how in Disney World there used to be this old ride called, like, I don't know, it was kind of like Splash Mountain. No, kind of like the Country Bears Jamboree, only they went through different decades of basically our country, different decades of our country, and so the walls of that ride moved when they would go to a different decade of our country. So there's a little fact about a certain worker of that ride. I don't know if we want to get into that, but wait.
I don't know what fact you're talking about. The ride you're talking about is the Carousel of Progress. That was actually a very nice attraction, in my opinion.
Well, there is the Carousel of Progress, but I'm talking about another ride. America Scenes, I think. America Scenes.
Oh.
Like Disneyland. So when they moved the Carousel of Progress to Disney World, they replaced that building with America Scenes. So we can put the part I'm about to say next out of the actual video, but that's okay. So one of the workers of that ride was like standing too close to and between the wall and where it comes out, and so she was like murdered while people were watching. Ride.
Could you imagine being in the ride as that happened? Like the screams. Oh,
there was probably a lot of people.
Before we go back in, can I ask you to tilt your camera down? It makes it easier for me to frame this. There you go. Thank you.
There was probably a lot of people in therapy. A lot of kids were probably in therapy.
Oh my! I cannot imagine that as a child too. As a child. That is like, my gosh.
It's terrible. So I think that's why they closed down that ride, but ride Carousel of Progress. But I don't think we'll leave this in the video because there are plenty
we can cut that out, but
there are plenty of other like videos talking about it.
My gosh.
I think I went into detail, but
that is crazy. Okay.
Yeah, so that's we'll probably
right. I'm just gonna bring us straight into special effects now, if that's okay. All right. I'm not gonna be able to get that image out of my mind. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, so the next big thing is special effects, which Zion, you went into depth about why you didn't like the special effects in the last Jurassic Park a little bit,
Yeah,
and why you think these ones are obviously better. But generally, the big part about, I think a big thing about this movie is that because of the time, like the year difference between the original ones like
probably.
coming out and when this one comes out, we have much better CGI. So
Yeah.
they did a lot more things with the dinosaurs than they could have
Man, I
before.
know there are different opinions online about the special effects, but I think they looked really great because I especially
Oh
like
yeah.
how like when the dinosaurs like were just walking, hey, you can see the like ghillie spots in their fins, and
Yeah.
it almost felt like an actual animal. Reminded me. It reminded me how man how an elephant walks,
Yes.
kind of how like it's again it's like all like
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. And I think the interesting part is they definitely study other animals to
uh-huh,
create the movements of the animals and like just create like in detail like how they
yeah
look and breathe. I think yeah, the special effects in this are really really good obviously. And if they were not good, this movie would have been rough to watch because like
yeah
it's because of that special effects that really helps drive this movie. If the Indominus Rex looked weird or bad, like this movie would basically be unwatchable. Even and that's coming from a Jurassic Park lover right here. But yeah. So going into the characters though, the big ones, the big two are Chris Pratt and Claire, or Chris Pratt, whose character's named Owen Grady, and Bryce Dallas Howard's Claire Dearing. So Zion, which one do you want to talk about first?
So I'll just say a character. Chris Pratt's character. I love Chris Pratt and some of the movies, but Chris Pratt works better as a when he's like if this Chris Pratt in this film acted more like how like Marlord acts and the Marvel films, then I would
Yeah,
like his character. But you know, sometimes he acts like how Star Lord acts, but then other times he gets to like serious, kind of like
yeah,
how this one Amazon film thing is like the Tomorrow War, I think. That film has a very like
yes,
serious Chris Pratt where he tries to be this action hero, but it just doesn't work well when he tries to do it like that. I don't know. Thing is because of
yeah,
thing is because of all those films where he acts as a comedian more, to where he switches to this action hero personality type and gets to like serious and doesn't tell a bunch of jokes.
mm,
It just is jarring to me. Man, I don't like it, but that's
yeah. I think that's actually a very good description of it. It is kind of like I think generally this is a good character. He does a good job with this character because
I
the
mean,
character isn't completely serious the whole time, but
yeah,
I do agree the serious parts do feel awkward. This is not particularly from this movie, but there's a line in the second Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, where he says, "I rode my motorcycle with a pack of raptors." And I hate that line. Like that makes me cringe so much because he's trying to act so tough. It's so
I
awful to
feel
listen to,
like
in my opinion.
I feel like if it was played by a different actor entirely, I think that would have worked better.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just with like when we have things where he's in like Parks and Rec, the
yeah,
Lego
Parks and
movie,
Rec's the
the
big one for
Marvel, Parks and
sure.
Rec is the big one, but I
Yeah,
think
because he's completely comedic in that one. He's not tough and
he is.
serious at all. So after you watch 7 seasons of him doing that, going and watching Jurassic
I
World
know
just feels
nothing
so weird.
is weird. Yeah,
Um, which he would not have gotten this part if it wasn't for
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy is what made people see him as an action star, and that's why he does action movies nowadays.
Yeah, but the thing with him in that is like he still has
he's goofy. Yeah, he has that comedic
tone and
charm to his character.
That works. It just he's trying this one. All right, let's move on to Claire.
Yes,
I hate Claire with a passion. I hate.
I'm ending the call. That was just.
No, you're
we're done. It's been good. This is okay. Why? Oh crud! I did something on my computer. I think we're still filming, but whoopsie. So you want to tell me why?
She just comes off as like a little. I don't know how to explain it. It just seems like Claire seems kind of like one of those like mean girls and like a little bit jerky, and how she acts kind of like serious. I don't know. I just don't like her. I don't like how she talks to people. I just think she is a little rude at times, and I just don't like Claire. You are so like disappointed.
I really, a lot of this, it's a stretch for me to see where you're coming from, but I can sort of see it. I see her more as like, she's definitely like the workaholic type character. Like that's without a doubt a fact. But I see it more as she's just like serious, organized, but like so much that like she gets like, it's a joke at that point of how much she like is organized and like just serious about things in general. Mm-hmm. But like as far as mean, I can sort of see like she has a little bit of like quippiness to her, but I wouldn't call her mean.
Well,
and she loves her family. Like you saw how serious she gets with like when she thinks her nephews are in danger, and just
that is after their mom yelled at her, though.
No. That listen, she decides that she's gonna go and spend time with them after her mom yells at her. But it's when when she finds out that like they're lost and the dinosaurs escaped, like that point she freaks out.
Their mom. Like, I see why you like her. I'm just giving you my opinions. But I do.
Like, I look at, like, the quippiness. Okay, one, anything she says to Chris Pratt doesn't count because they're exes, and that's always rough. But, like, as far as, like, the other stuff, I see it more as an Elaine from Seinfeld thing. Which, maybe not as good as the way Elaine from Seinfeld does it.
That's a stretch.
But, like, a quippiness. Like, you just disappointed me greatly today, Zion. My day is ruined. I don't know what to tell you.
Ruined? What?
It's ruined. Okay.
Because I hated on this movie? What? Okay.
Because you hated on this movie. My day is ruined. Okay, well, you have Zion made the script today, and he has the rest of the human characters. What are the ones you specifically want to talk about?
So her nephews are kind of like, meh. I mean, there's nothing to talk about with her nephews.
They have a nice little storyline about, like, maybe them, like, getting along better through the survival thing, but again, it's not, they are meh. I'll agree with you.
Their father is played by David Wallace.
I know, right? Every time I watch this movie, I forget their father is played by David Wallace, and I see him, I'm like, David Wallace!
David Wallace.
Yes, yeah, their father is played by David Wallace. That's...
Another characters we already talked about the eBay guy a little.
His name is Laurie. I'm not sure. Laurie. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. It's spelled. I can tell you how it's spelled. It's spelled Lowrey. How you say that, I'm not sure. But it sounds a little bit like Larry, but it's not Larry. So I'm not sure.
So So we also meet Claire's boss. I also hate him with the passion, but I think
Wait, why do you hate him with the passion? He's just
Claire's
this
boss.
generation's John Hammond, like legit. Like that's his character all the way around.
Okay, but he's not as sympathetic. I don't know. He seems like too demanding.
I would say he's more well. Okay, wait, maybe not more sympathetic. He doesn't have a lesson to be learned. He actually sees the animals as animals, or the dinosaurs as animals. Like he knows they're living. He doesn't think he's not. He knows he doesn't look at it as him playing with life. He looks at it. I don't know. There is a lot. You have me question. I'm still like shocked from your comments about Claire daring there. That just Yeah, I get what you're saying. I wouldn't say that he's more sympathetic than John Hammond, but at the same time, I wouldn't say that he's a bad guy. Like he sacrificed himself to try to save the people.
Okay. Wait. I don't.
Have we talked? Let's see. There's Hoskins. Hoskins would be the last big character. He's the military guy.
To like.
Yeah.
He seems more demanding than Claire's boss. I think we're supposed to hate him. I think.
Oh yes, absolutely, 100%. We're supposed to hate him.
I think his plan is like dumb. Let's use him with weapons and let's go attack Rush. No.
Let's do it. We're gonna cut that out. It's just gonna say let's use those weapons. We're not gonna say anything else after that. But yes, yeah, I get what you're saying. It is like, it is like a little bit like his character is meant for you to be.
Yeah,
you're meant to hate his character. He's a good like bad guy. Like he's not one of the best ones, but like if you hate him, like that means that you want him to lose, and therefore he's somewhat of a good bad guy, right?
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
So let's move on to the dinosaurs.
Yes.
There's another character you want to talk about.
No, I think the dinosaurs are where we need to go to next.
Okay,
so they bring back some familiar faces, like
we also have our main baddie, which is this, which they say is a new dinosaur, but looks exactly like just a white. Either a T-Rex or a Velociraptor, but just a white.
Okay, whoa, hold up.
I'm just saying the way he looks.
As someone who has watched these movies quite a bit, the big things you have, it's less detailed on here. He has spines, which look awesome. He is white, and he has red eyes, like albinism. I don't think he's supposed to be albino, but he has the characteristics of it. While he is big, like a T-Rex, his hands are more he has more dexterity in his hands. The T-Rex only has 2 fingers. This one has 4, and it has thumbs. It has like a thumb thing. It's much bigger than the T-Rex. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's got quite a bit of size difference on it.
So we have the normal dinosaurs, also the T-Rex and the Velociraptor.
Yeah.
We talked about those in
the
original one, but
specifically talking about the T-Rex though, and this is very very loosely connected to it. The scene
in this one. He doesn't.
Yeah, but the scene where she opens up the doors and runs in those heels is like one of the most like
bad at that. Like the internet was.
The internet's so mad at the fact she runs in those heels. They're like, "There's no way you'd be able to run from a T-Rex in those heels. No way."
Mallet. It for the Jurassic World where Claire just falls. Man, her heels break, so T-Rex just eats her.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, the internet hates that scene for some reason. I think it's a fun scene, and yeah, she runs on heels, but come on, y'all. This movie is not the most airtight plot.
Another thing
movie.
about the albino dinosaur. That
Yeah, the Indominus Rex. It's not albino. It's white just to be white.
At some point in this movie, it figures out how to claw its tracker out. He figures out that it's a tracker, and so somehow figures out like where it is and just rips it out. But
yeah,
it's like it's like we never see the where it was ripped out. We never see any of that.
Yeah.
Yes, we just see.
Well, I think the big thing is like it remembers. So I can get by it being smart enough to remember them putting it in. Yeah. What I cannot get by is it knowing it's bad. How does it know it's bad to like want to even claw it out? So yeah, there's some interesting things. Overall, though, the idea of the hybrid like dinosaur, it's actually a pretty scary like villain for this film.
I was gonna say something else, but I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna mention something else, but I completely forgot what I was gonna say. All right, keep talking. Maybe it'll come back to me.
Okay, that's fine. Like overall, I think this is actually a really, really good like villain. I think it's what helps really make this film work. I mean, like this is not by any means a horror movie, but like it's definitely a scary like creature to be like running from. It's like the threat is there. It gives the movie gives it this feeling that it is threatening and there is like stakes involved with this thing being out. So I would say it's a pretty good dinosaur if you're asking me, for sure, even though it's fake.
Oh my gosh, wait, we have another actor from the Jurassic World movie. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna bring him out. Oh my gosh.
I don't know where this is going.
Introducing Mr. Jimmy Fallon. Surprised he's not actually here, guys.
You just want to talk about Jimmy Fallon. Oh my gosh.
I just remembered I forgot to talk about Jimmy Fallon. And so
how did we forget to talk about Jimmy Fallon? He's in this movie.
Well, this was back when I think like he was a little more popular than he was now.
Yeah, this was back on his like initial takeover of the Tonight Show, if I remember right. So like he like had some pretty good popularity.
Probably before his ride at Universal. It's either before or like right when he was getting a ride at Universal, but
yeah. So you know what?
To be
he's less cringy in this movie than he is in real life. Or
well,
at least on the show.
Because they gave him a script and they were basing they were basing it off of like ride safety videos.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a nice joke. In my opinion, it's a nice joke to have a like big celebrity in there, like teaching you about it. Like that's totally something Disney World would do / does. So I think it's a nice thing.
But he is less cringy in this because they gave him a script. Like it's the same thing for when he was on like Saturday Night Live as well. He was given a script and the sketches he was in. Even though he did break character constantly.
A lot, yes.
A lot, but he still was more tolerable in this. But all right.
But now, speaking of Jimmy Fallon, obviously he's my favorite character. So Zion, what's your favorite?
Favorite character?
No.
I don't. Are we counting the dinosaurs as characters?
Okay, I think we have to split them up because I think for Jurassic Park we split them up. We said you
Yeah.
have to pick a favorite dinosaur and a favorite character.
Okay. Favorite human character. There is the only one I can think of that I actually enjoyed when they were on screen. There is a girl who sits next to eBay shirt guy in the room. That was my favorite character because I actually was not yelling at the character when they were on screen.
Jeez, I didn't realize we had so much beef with all the characters in this
I
movie.
didn't
Literally
realize either
every
until
single character.
I didn't
Um,
realize until I actually rewatched this that I don't like a lot of the characters in the movie.
wow. Unpopular opinion to you. My favorite character is Claire Daring. Oh,
And you never actually said your like opinions on if you like.
well, she's my favorite character. In my opinion, she's one of the best. She's one of the most fleshed out characters.
In this movie, not
in this
of all
movie,
time, correct? Okay.
not of all time. Oh yeah, no, not at all time. None of the
What
characters in
you
this
just
movie
say,
are
like,
particularly
whoa!
the best characters of all time. She's one of the
Oh.
best fleshed out characters in this movie. I think there's a lot more to her. I think they do a good job at portraying her character with a lot more depth than a lot of the other characters do. The other ones just come off like, even with the kids, who they try to give them the whole thing of their parents are getting a divorce. There's not much. It still feels like there's not much there. There's no attempt with Owen Grady to have a backstory or depth. He's just the action hero.
We
And
also
then the rest
have
of the characters are pretty side characters. So, like, yeah, there's not much depth to any of these characters.
well,
Actually, wait.
we have to give a little rest in peace to their nanny and the pterodactyl scene of the film.
Best death of the film is when that nanny gets chomped by. Listen, it's not that I don't like the nanny. It's just that that's so awesome when the Mosasaurus
It's
comes
awesome.
up and gets them.
It's awesome.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I would also say close second, Henry Wu. Yes, he is not a nice guy in this film, but he's
Well,
actually a
also
pretty
not in
good
the film
character
very
if you look
long.
at him.
Also, Mr. DNA, who has shown for 3-5 seconds of.
He is only 3 to 5 seconds, but it's a nice callback, man. We like the callback.
Not all of them, but we
Not all.
like.
Well, I like most of the. I don't know what callbacks you're not liking, but moving on. Favorite dinosaur.
Favorite dinosaur? Oh.
Yeah, this is a
Just
tough one.
because, like, they had the best scene in the movie, I'm going to say the pterodactyl.
Wow. Okay,
Scene
that's
was
a good
pretty
one.
Awesome, bro.
Mine's gonna have to be the Mosasaurus. I tell you, that ending when they knock him to the edge and the Mosasaurus comes up out of nowhere and chomps him, so good.
I would have picked that one if the pterodactyls weren't in this, but
Okay, yeah.
that pterodactyl scene was pretty.
Yeah, so the Mosasaurus is definitely my favorite. And then finally we have favorite scene, which
You
this is
already
a
know-
tough one because this has
you
some
already-
good scenes.
I have like 2 scenes where I was fully paying attention. Number 1, pterodactyl scene. That was hilarious when they are just picking up people like they are like worms or like food to them. Like that was hilarious.
Yeah.
The other scene is the big dinosaur fight at the end.
Oh yeah.
The other great scene of the film. The rest of them I was kind of paying attention, but ultimately I think I fell asleep through one part of this point. I don't remember.
Wait, seriously? You fell asleep?
I was trying not to. Like, it was a great war between me falling asleep and me fully paying attention to what's happening. Look, it wasn't in the like dinosaur scenes. It was in the scenes where it's just people talking.
Yeah. Well, my favorite scene is like the big dinosaur fight at the end for sure. I think that's just super cool, and I mean, it definitely it's definitely the big standout like climactic moment of the movie for sure. So I guess that means it's time to rate it, Zion. What do you got to give it?
I forgot to mention is like the dinosaurs are like sponsored by different companies in this.
That is a weird part. But let's be honest, if this was real life, that would totally be true. Like, there would be the Verizon Wireless Rex or whatever you want to call it.
Like, I think, wasn't like, didn't Verizon actually sponsor the main bad dinosaur of this film? Like,
it was Verizon Wireless presents the Indominus Rex. Yep, that was
oh my god,
that's a pretty good. Like, I like that part. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Verizon ruined our entire park.
Verizon, it was all Verizon's fault, y'all. The whole time, the bad guys were the wireless providers. Okay.
But anyway, let's make this thing.
Moving on here.
I'm gonna let you.
Yeah, I'm gonna give my rating first because I don't think this should be a shocker. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. I know. Listen, okay. The serious film critic in me wants to say, Judah, this movie is not high quality enough to be a 5 out of 5.
Yeah. I'm not I already kind of knew you were gonna give it that.
Yeah, the human being in me says that I really love this movie, so I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. So
I really don't think I can give it a 5 out of 5.
And that's fine. I totally understand why. You're not hurting my feelings. I did not expect this to get amateurly approved in any way. Oh. But what are you thinking? I am curious where on the scale you have this.
Probably like a 3.5, I guess.
Okay. I'm ending the call.
Whoa, you just said you were it was either 4 or a 3.5, and
I can see a 3.5. Would I have liked it to be a full on 4? Yes, but I get why it's a 3.5. This movie, it's not. This is not supposed to be like cinematic history in any way. This movie is supposed to be really, a summer blockbuster.
Yeah, that's just like a blockbuster. That they are really trying to hit a certain audience with this film. I know.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, the nostalgia is supposed to hit a certain audience, but like even then, there is like the action in it does have a little bit of a universal, like, I don't know, charm to it in a way. Like everybody's gonna enjoy watching the dinosaurs fight.
When there is dinosaurs attacking other things in the film, I feel like that is what's for everyone. I think everyone can enjoy that.
Yeah.
When it's most of the film and just people talking, I don't think everyone can get down behind that. But anyways, yeah, this has been our Jurassic World review.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, we still don't know what our last film is going to be.
Yes, as of right now, we need one more film to round out our number of films for the season.
I'm gonna pick it. We have not edited most of the things yet, and so I think.
So we don't know when you're seeing this. It's probably a good chunk in the future. There's a good chance that you're seeing this in its summertime, and pretty soon Dominion's coming out, which we might do a episode on, depending on how good it is or bad it is.
You may be really disappointed in what.
I don't expect to be disappointed, but I think a movie either has to be like pretty good or pretty bad for it to be interesting enough to review. At least in our case. Other people can review meh movies if they wish. But yeah, so we're getting close to our season finale.
It has to be as interesting as Gumby's and movie was. It's gotta be.
Oh my gosh, Gumby the movie. Every time you bring back Gumby the movie, I forget that it exists, and I'm happy, and then
This
I'm
is like
reminded that it
the
exists,
first
and I'm
time
sad.
I brought it back. It's like the first time I've like brought it
It
back.
doesn't matter, Zion. It was so bad. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And you
Gumby
may
the
be
movie.
surprised and my final rankings then.
I swear, if you rank it in the top 3 position, I swear,
I
Zion.
mean, not in the top 3, but okay.
Anyway, thank you all
Goodbye.
for watching. We have been talking for quite a long time, so remember to like and subscribe.
Goodbye.
Zion, any last little sayings?
Goodbye.